extra. Okay. So I go click here, settings. Can you find an option called data controls? In settings, you just have to disable this. If you disable this, it will not send your information to. So it's more like a private search or incognito search, whatever you can call it. It has certain features, beta features, etc. But this is available only if you are doing it through a premium version. Clear with the first prompt, right? Now what is it the next step you will do after this? You have got a sense of engagement letter. Now you have to prepare an audit plan. Yes? Draft an audit plan for tax audit. Consider the clauses as per form 3C, 3CB, right? 3, I'm talking about the where that is all the annexures are there.
Yeah, 3CD.
3CD, okay. Consider the clauses as per form 3CD. Right? Let us see what it is. So it will give you all these various stories. Now the challenge over here is, it may not know the entire content of form 3CD. It is just using form 3CD word everywhere. Contents of 3CD it does not know. Right? So now you are going to tell, can you make a detailed checklist for each clause of form 3CD of Income Tax Act. Clause 1 general, clause 2 accounting policies, clause 3 particulars of the audit entry. Now does it make sense? Is it going more specific? You are able to understand how we are changing the prompt. And please bear in mind, there is no rocket rule that prompt has to be done like this. For all you know, you might be able to give a better prompt than I. It comes over experience and practice. It's an iterative story, right? Particulars of partner, director, principal officer. Now here what will happen, if you have told I am doing for a company, it will just use the word director. That is where you are making it a little more contextualized. It talks about all of this and it keeps on going. The problem is, because it is too huge, it is stopped until clause 16. Why? And then it says, do you want to continue generating? Right? Then you can go ahead and say continue generating. Are you clear with this? Does it make sense? Reasonably comfortable? Yeah? Now, the problem is, this is something which you have created, but problem is, this is not in a very presentable format. I have to copy paste into Word, I have to do all the formatting. So now you tell this ChatGPT, can you prepare a table? Look at this, can you prepare a table for clauses 10 to 14? Can you prepare a table for clauses 10 to 14 and let's see how it works. You are able to get an idea? Is it this not a little easier now compared to what it was earlier? Right? It is creating a checklist and it is creating a detail of this thing. But problem is, now suddenly you forgot what is clause 10 actually speaking. So now you say, add another column where the requirements of the above clauses are also mentioned in addition to the checklist. Right? Now your professional judgment, you will have to take whether clause 10 is accurate or is it taken some other random clause, that I leave it to you. I am only talking about an approach. Now for all you know, you could copy a clause and say, please give me the list of requirements for this. Let's say you are doing a new audit for a new company where you are not able to pick up what is it that I have to ask. You ask him, I'm doing a new audit, I'm doing this particular analysis, can you give me a scenario? Or can you bring a analysis? Yes, you can do that. Now, when you copy this, now this is where the beauty is, right? When you're copying this, you go back to a Word doc and you paste it. It will give you a tabular structure. But it will come with the word BR. BR means it's a line break. Right? Because it is not a dimensional software, it is only giving you command. Now you have to go and give line break everywhere. BR, enter. Alternatively, find and replace, Control H, BR, replace it with this small, I don't know, whatever that is called, it's like a bird's beak. Whatever that is, character. Okay. Right? And P. And just say replace all. It's basically you are converting a line break into a paragraph. Easy, sir. Now copy paste into Excel, do whatever you want. Can we move on to the next thing? So we have got an idea of what is the table. Now we'll go out and try to prepare for the same tax audit. What is the next thing you want to do? We spoke about checklist. We didn't speak about list of requirements, no? For a technology company, also add the list of requirements to the above. Now I am giving a little more context. For a technology company, add the list of requirements above. It is taking some time analyzing. Do you see the description? Some requirements. So you will find why it is called as regenerative model or a trained model. You will find the same sort of a wordings being used again and again. Because it is being given only that. From that it is picking up so many things. Which means if you know, that is where these models also have some amount of limitation. And that's why if you go to a chat GPT-4, the reasoning is much better than a GPT 3.5. GPT 3.5 is available for free. It is very fast. Reasoning capability is lesser. GPT-4 gives you more better accurate results. You can try that a little later. For want of time, I am not doing it. And GPT-4 is available only if you are a paid user. Right? You will find the accuracy and the information slightly much better off compared to a GPT. Are you clear with this? Right? Now that this is clear, what is the next thing you will go ahead? You go ahead, assign some work. Right? You are doing it. Now I am slightly flipping the game. Now assuming you are doing a risk control matrix. I am slightly upping the game, right? Tax audit, we just got an idea. Right? Now we are going to a risk control matrix. So I am going to say, can you prepare, or rather prepare a risk control matrix for revenue process. Prepare a risk control matrix for revenue process of IT company. Consider key risks such as, tell me, I am just giving an example, right? What could be a risk? Okay, or what I will do is I will just give a general go. Let's see what happens. So you give a risk, you give a control objective, it gives a control measure. So your RCM is ready. Again, it's a good starting point, need not be an exhaustive list. Are you with me? Yes. Right? Now I can say, can you add a column to also mention COSO framework and list of questions / documents for audit for each of the above. I am saying give me a COSO framework and also give me the list of requirements. So your interview questionnaire is also coming. But while you do all of this, if you read it very carefully, it is a very, very generative model, not a very specific contextual model, unless you give the data. Now, how you can give the data? Very simple. Go to ICA guidance note, which talks about what are the risks or what are the few illustrative scenarios of a IT industry. Copy a particular text over here. On similar lines, prepare something you say, it will start generating. Are you getting it? So you give an example and then it is able to generate it better. Like for example, we recently did some random stuff, right? So we had given something like this. Upon understanding the management about cloud adoption, some basic story was written. We reviewed the following and we noticed that something was non-compliant. I told ChatGPT, generate and give me which is the non-compliance in this particular paragraph. It generated non-compliance in this. So you have a larger paragraph, you want to extract something out of it. Go ahead and use it. There is no end to use case and there cannot be a definitive list. These are the 10 or 20 cases I can use. No. It brings with innovation and it comes with practice. Can I bring it over here? Can I bring it over here? And that is how you will slowly start going for it. Clear? Right? Now, there could be scenarios where I can prepare charts also. Charts also is possible. But the problem with chart is, it will give you a Python script which you have to go and execute it. Right? So which I prefer not to take it at this point in time. It can also help you prepare a PPT content. You are preparing for a presentation, or forget that. I will say, prepare 5 slides of content for a presentation on how to use ChatGPT. I'm asking ChatGPT how to use ChatGPT. Right? It gives you all these sort of things. Idella okay. Now I say convert above into a macro / VBA script so that I can execute it in a PPT. Right now it's converting into a VBA script. I copy paste the VBA script into a PowerPoint, execute it, my PowerPoint is ready. Right, it's writing, we need not understand this code, sir, don't worry. It's like the doctor prescription, only pharmacist will understand. Right? So it is given this, again I cannot vouch that it will work accurately. Right, I copy this, I took it to my macro guy. He said, you try running to it, I'm sure it will give you an error. And I personally did not know how to debug the error because of course I didn't experiment too much on it. But yes, you just go and type Alt F1, macro, insert. Again, I am not sure whether it will work. I am only doing a trial. I have copied it and I say, boss, execute it. So it is asking me to save. Trial. I don't know how many trials I've used. Yeah. Yes. Let's say if it runs. Yeah, it gives me somewhere there is an error. I just need to. I can put this error to ChatGPT and say I got this error. Can you regenerate it? It will regenerate and give it to me. Copy paste over. Right. So that's essentially what it is. Right. It says placeholder unknown, integer range out of 2, valid not range, whatever. It gives me some sort of this thing. So I can go ahead and give that perspective. So what I'm trying to say is, the way in which these technologies are coming is something huge. Now you could say that I have in one column this data, another column this data. Can you help me build a formula for this? It will build it for you. You're understanding the use cases, right? So this is the first use case of ChatGPT. Any questions over here? Because we are constrained on time, I want to quickly talk about a couple of other AI solutions. I mean, the list of AI solutions is no end. Right? This is a solution called Barely. BEAR, bear, LY, lee, .ai, bearly.ai. Right? You give a larger paragraph or an agreement, it will concise it and give it for you. You give a large contractual clause, it will summarize it and give it for you. What are the key things? Upload it, it will give it to you. Right? You can say, okay, what are the key audit risks which I notice from an accounting standard 19 perspective? Or what are the key contracts relating to leases, termination, terms, payments? It will summarize it. Right? Next is again a software called as Notion. Again, I'm sorry, it's loading a little slowly because of the internet challenge. Right? It is again a generative AI using a technology quite similar to that of a GPT. Right? You could ask AI to write about anything, brainstorm ideas on how to approach new clients. It will give you some suggestions. Fairly decent set of things. Attend networking events, reach out to prospects, develop a referral program, send personalized emails, whatever. Now this may not be compliant with ICA code of ethics, so please be careful. AI does not know code of ethics.
So what is the spelling? Notion?
Notion, sir. Notion. Notion. You can just write notion.ai. I mean, those URLs keep on changing. Notion.ai you write. It's basically a notepad sort of a thing. Initially, Notion started off as a task holder or a placeholder where you can have all your tasks like Evernote had. Then they came up with much more features, and then they said, let's create a notebook which can do a lot of things powered by AI. And that's how they brought it. Right? A slightly better version or a improvised version than a ChatGPT in certain limited context. Right? Then you have a very nice solution called Quillbot. It's called as a paraphrasing tool. Create content in ChatGPT, copy paste in Quillbot, it will rephrase it and give it for you. அதாவது ஒரு AI ல எடுத்து இன்னொரு AI ல போடு. Say for example, take it in one place and push it into the other, right? Say for a very simple instance, create a 5-liner introduction for ChatGPT for professionals. I'll use the word finance professionals. Create a 5-liner introduction on ChatGPT for finance professionals. Right? It is creating some intro. Right? It is giving you all those interesting use cases where it can help you out with. Right? Now this is a very nice introduction of how GPT is, but I don't like this. I go to this paraphrasing tool, copy that, and I say paraphrase. It will paraphrase and generate it on the other side. And it's taking a little time because of the internet connectivity, but generally it works. Similarly, this can also help you to improvise grammar. Sometimes you feel that your article staff are sending email with incorrect grammar. Use this. Or Grammarly.com, free software, AI-based software. Grammarly.com, free AI-based software which can help to make all your grammatical corrections and changes. Grammarly.com. I'm sorry, it's loading a little slow. I think we have a good number of people using the internet. So barely I think we spoke of. This is another very interesting site, avoma.com. You can create a website within 30 seconds. You heard it right, you can create a website within 30 seconds for free. But if you want to change the template which they give, you have to pay. So it will give you a very generic thing. Let me see if I can swap the internet connection for a minute.
Can you please repeat the name?
I'll repeat the name, madam. Avoma, A-V-O-M-A. Avoma. Oh, I'm sorry. Avoma is not this thing. It's a meeting minutes taker. I'm so sorry. That's another website. Website generally is different. Avoma. This is a meeting minutes taker. You enable along with your any Teams meeting or anything. It will summarize your meeting conversation and it will give it to you. Good question. I think Avoma currently works only on English as of now. There are some of these which works. So somebody was asking, does ChatGPT work in other languages? It works in Hindi, currently not for the southern languages, only Hindi as of now. They have a list. Which are the languages? Tamil is working? Okay.
Just I don't think it can take inputs.
It will give the output, sir.
I have asked.
Can you explain ChatGPT in Tamil? Satyam, I படிக்க தெரியாது நான் படிச்சுக்குள்ள நீங்க you'll have tomorrow morning breakfast and come back. I'm a little slow in reading, but nevertheless. Right, so yeah, let's see, try Telugu. Endaro Mahanubhavulu andariki vandanamalu. Can you try in Telugu?
Oh, it's coming. Why not Kannada?
Coming, sir, one by one, sir. One by one, sir. Internet is slow, sir. Not language bias, sir. Only internet bias. Right? Can you do it in Kannada? Arthika Pavritike Vari, whatever I don't know. And let's not forget God's own country. Can you do it in Malayalam? So if you want to put something in your Malayalam slides also, no, go to ChatGPT or whatever language for that matter, right? Put it over there and, you know.
ChatGPT speaks.
ChatGPT as such cannot speak, sir. There are solutions which are integrated, therefore it can speak. There are a lot of integration based players in the market. Right, I was talking about Grammarly. My sincere suggestion is to use this app, at least in our offices. It is free available, meaning the basic version is for free. It will give you the basic corrections. And the beauty is, unlike the Word which is spelling check which is there only in Word, this will be also in your browser. So when you're drafting something, if the language is incorrect, it will give you a suggestion. And it is suggested especially for those, I'm sure in your office there are some machines which, you know, commonly used, article stuff used, whatever, it could be combination. Not that they, I mean for us also it happens, right? Sometimes when you are drafting that English, the context, it helps you to do that.
Whether it will suggest some videos for particular presentation purpose, this ChatGPT?
ChatGPT will suggest, sir. It can suggest. But for that again, the problem is, it will only go back to September 2021. The latest one, if you want to, you will have to go to a new one. Let's try that. Right? If you notice over here in GPT-4, if I click on GPT-4, it talks about default, browse with Bing, plugins. So I have to click on one of them. When I click on them, what it will do? It will take that respective one. Right? Now let's say if I just choose as default, I'm not going to the next version. Give me 5 or I'll just say 2 YouTube videos. Give me 2 YouTube videos to learn GST. Do you notice this? I am unable to provide real-time search. Why? Because I did not choose the Bing feature. Right? But then it will give you where all you can find. Again, this general gyan. Because, you know, Khan Academy, Rachana Ranade, whatever. Right? It will just give you whatever is generally available. It may not be updated. For all you know, Rachana Ranade does not speak on GST. She speaks on stock markets. That's the reality. If you go to your channel, right? So now I'm going to GPT-4, browse with Bing. Give me 2 video links or 2 YouTube video links for learning. Now if you see on top, it says model web browsing. Did you see that? Now it is actually picking up something from the website, learning from it and then coming back. So here there is 2 biases. Bias number 1 is, it is picking up only the topmost things in the website. It may not probably go into the actual one. Bias number 1. Bias number 2, from that link, it has to now generate. In other words, assuming you are sending a person to a school, there are 2 biases or 2 risks over there. First, the curriculum which they are taught in the school. Second, the teacher, how they are teaching. You are getting that scenario? So both the biases. So why I keep on taking this, AI is a wonderful solution. Question is, you need to know which problem AI has to solve. If you think for everything I will use AI, right, your entire this thing will go mad. And please look into it, it takes some time. It is still not generated. It is reading, trying to understand, right? So while it takes, I'll go into another app and come back.
So this Bing will give latest update?
Sir, Bing is basically Microsoft Chrome browser. Like how you have Google's Chrome, Bing is Microsoft. So what they have done is, because ChatGPT is now owned by Microsoft, they have enabled the backward linkage. So you're able to get it. Yeah. Firefly's AI is also a meeting automation solution. We had used it in one of the scenarios and it worked well. I was talking about a website which can build in 30 seconds. That's durable.co. And let me tell you, you go ask ChatGPT, give me 10 AI generated websites, it will give you. The list is endless. Right? See, why I'm giving you all this is just for your mind to think on the context. See, yesterday I'm telling you we were doing a report writing, and this is for a US client, and they were very particular with the way of presentation. I spent 3 hours just reading the report, independent review. All my team members have done. I spent 3 hours only doing from top to bottom, just the alignment, basic things. It's already been done, but just a comparison. And it took me 3 hours. It was almost a 60 or 80 page report, right? I was thinking, why don't we automate that and etc. Today morning I was trying to, morning 5 o'clock when I just got down from the bus, suddenly it struck to me, why can't I ask AI to do that? So then I started searching, is there an AI based formatting solution? There are 5 companies who are providing the solution. Right? So our imagination is only the limitation in this world. But a very important thing which you have to keep in mind is, which problem AI can solve, which problem AI cannot solve is something which only a human mind can understand. I'll put it in a very simple language. Sir, you have 5 knives in front of you. One is a knife which could only apply a butter. Is it sharp? No. But it is thin? Yes. Then you have a knife which can only probably cut vegetables. Then you have that butcher's knife which is used for cutting meat. All of them are knives. They are serving different purposes. The same way is we as a human being or as a human intellect need to analyze when what has to be used, and that way it will become much more easy. Right? Do you want to generate a website quickly to see? Yeah? So, yeah, it is just checking if I am using a secure connection, otherwise it will be subject to a cyber attack, so they don't want to do that. What type of a business are you building? I will say food, because lunchtime, no? Next. South Indian Sambar. That is the name of the hotel. Do you see on the left hand side things were changing? While I was typing food, right? Now it is creating all those fancy stuff. Right? It is now creating a gallery. My website is getting ready. It is only writing testimonial. It is only adding services. It is only adding some clients. See, please understand, it's creating a wonderful template. Right? It is adding a paragraph about my own business. And it says 30 seconds over, website is ready. Paklama, shall we see it? No dua. Savor authentic South Indian flavors. Experience rich taste or whatever. Now you didn't like it. No problem. Regenerate this section. It will generate in a few seconds. It will create a few new version. Right? with some bit of a background and other things. Now it's giving a gallery, I mean a fairly good website. Huh?
But it's not giving any your address or there is a
No sir, that comes in paid version sir. So it just gives you a template for you to get used to it.
no contact details.
No, see, basically the purpose is this. See, whenever you are going to any website, the whole purpose is you want to try.
Okay.
Right? If you go to some of these ice cream stores newly opened, they'll give a small, just like this, they'll touch and they'll give you free ice cream.
Trial,
Trial version, right? So this is the version, and if you create an account